Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hi, YouTube. Hey, welcome on in. Appreciate you guys coming through. I'm having a fucking blast with this series. I hope you guys are enjoying those of you guys that are here, the like anime completion Sundays, because they tend to be pretty interesting, especially when we pick a show and we try to get through a couple episodes, 3 or 4 episodes of that show. Hope you guys are enjoying that. Yeah, hello. I know, right? I am fucking enjoying this series for what it has to offer. I feel like it has a lot of nuanced, like specifically like themes in it that at first glance you might just like, but taking the time to like sit down and go work through it, I feel like I'm picking up a lot. Like a lot of the characters, like depth and like motivation, simply by like their smirks, simply by like the way that they act with one another. All of this like analysis, mostly because that's what this channel is about, comes through with the psychological lens. And I'm doing this at the end of the day because I want to spread the aspects of mental health out there, right? I want to talk about concepts like this because it affects us. Stories affect us, right? Stories are narratives that are being told that take an aspect and shape our lives that sometimes we got to be aware of. We take a lot of lessons away from it. Whether that's Moshiko Tensei, ReZero, Oregairu, whatever that is, sometimes we connect with these characters for a reason, which is why I'm so excited to see where this is going to come. Spread some self-care, ladies and gentlemen. In case you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, I put 2 sociological theories behind me, and they looked kind of like boobas, and it got clipped and put up on the Discord. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and continue. Let's start. Oh, no. Wait a minute. We're getting a glimpse into Hachiman's family structure. Now, this is where it's at, brother. This is where it's at. But also, I'm kind of curious. How is your relationship as siblings? Is it like a normal standard like brother-sister relationship? Or is it more like, is there more to it, essentially, is what I'm asking. For free? Hey, yo.
この記事偏差値25くらいにしか見えねえぞ。どこに共感してんのお前。おい時間。
I love how the show just starts off with the stereotypical Dan Schneider shot of like, oh, we're gonna, let me go ahead and make sure that these bad boys are in frame. Sniffa for free? But like, my mom and her sister used to hate each other a lot of sibling. Well, yeah, the sibling energy that is there. I'm sure he means a normal sibling dynamic, right? Like the sibling dynamics in general are always interesting to observe, right? But sometimes in anime, it makes you question like what is deemed culturally, I don't know, like allowable in some shows and whatever, because of like either it might be spread through culture, through the anime or whatnot, as to what is perceptive as normal sibling interactions. Was she about to change? Okay. Of course. Comes in the aspect of boundaries, right? Of course, don't get me wrong. Sometimes when you're with family, you become so nuanced with them, or to the point where you don't really aren't 1,000% aware of where they are, or even care if they're around, right? Because it's the pretense of our mind labeling them as family, right? But sometimes these boundaries and these aspects that are being shown makes me wonder, again, it's highlighting how close is the relationship in this aspect? If it's only one-sided, or is it a two-sided relationship in that? Does one view this as a normal sibling relationship and the other maybe push the boundaries of it?
お前の口は自動小銃かよ。ジャムルの使い方間違ってんだろ。
お兄ちゃんって時々何言ってるかわかんないよね。
それはお前の。片付けよろしくね。
I've never been like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get down to my undies right here, right now, right in front of you guys. Like, hey, hold on to these for me. Yeah, ooh. Like that in front of my siblings? Ooh. Why not? It's so liberating. I ain't into that, brother. I'm into personal boundaries in space, you know? Especially as you get older, like.
は不思議なもので、どれだけ可愛かろうとも特に何も感じられない。
Good for him.
下着なんてただの布としか思わない。リアルな妹なんてそんなものである。
Wash these for me, please.
このガキ。
Now comes my question. We see this interaction happening. He already states that he just sees her as a sister, right? She's already waiting for him. All the different steps that are being like presented in here. How would she react if another female started dating Hachiman? If another female showed interest in Hachiman? Would she be A-okay, or would she try and go ahead and see if they were up to her mettle, her presentation? My aspect comes in terms of like family interventions. Looking at the family as a whole. These family interventions that we see in here, we have to take a look at mom, dad, sister, Hachi, right? And through this comes into question, how involved is mom and dad in their lives? If that. Does sister look up or down at Hachiman? And if so, why? Why is this there? Did they have to go ahead and intertwine their time together to make up the role of maybe the parents being busy all the time? Does the sister feel as though Hachiman is better than what he gives himself credit for? Or vice versa? What are their relationship dynamics in this regard? Is it sister with Hachiman on top? Or that sounded really wrong the more I said it. Or is it like sister and Hachiman in a standard neutral dynamic? Where does this power dynamic lay and why? What was that? Don't get hit by a car today. You can't. No. Oh. Hey. It's one of my fucking like random. Oh.
俺が一人の時ならいいのかよ。
お兄ちゃん、時々腐った魚みたいな目でぼーっとしてるから心配なんだよ。あ、今の小町的にポイント高い。
Hey yo。
俺は高校入学初日、交通事故に遭っている。新しい生活にワクワクしてしまったあまり、1時間も早く。
Oh, look at him.
してしまったあまり、1時間も早く家を出たら。ている。新しい生活にワクワクしてしまったあまり、1時間。
The non-bleeding? I don't know what that is. I'm staring because I'm trying to put my thoughts together. I'll let this scene play out. I'm trying to put my thoughts in together on this one. Let me cook. Let me cook, man.
No. その結果、骨折して入院。入学ぼっちが確定した瞬間で。
It's a very fancy car. That's a very, very fancy car for it to just be driven around like that. Like all the other cars shown were just like, yeah, whatever, right? Like, look. All the other cars are just like, whatever. Well, here's a little truck that can isekai you. Looks like a fucking limo. Why does this reaction... Something in my brain is literally fucking screaming at me that something is similar but off. And I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm gonna be straight up. Whenever I know something, I like to fucking point it out. It's like, it's there. Open your fucking eyes. But I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Something looks similar but different, you know. Having a car in Japan is already fancy. So imagine how rich you have to be to have this car. It's odd for the... Yeah, that's a mega fancy car. Holy shit.
その結果骨折して入院入学ぼっち
I don't know what it
確
is.
定した瞬間である
そういえばあの事故の後ワンちゃんの飼い主さんお礼に来たよ。お菓子もらった。美味しかった。
それ確実に俺食べてないよね
でもさ、お菓子の人同じ学校なんだからあったんじゃないの？
Is it? Wait, hold up. Is it Yahalo? Hold up. Is it Yahalo? Hold up. Wait, is it fucking Yahalo? Is it, wait, something, because knows his name, immediately fucking formalized. Wait a minute. We're talking about. I kind of missed my overshirt. Could be bait. It really could be. But then how would she know how to call him like Hachi and the way that they like? She tries to build rapport with them despite nobody else doing that. That for me strikes me as odd. That for me strikes me as weird. Also buying snacks. Also, you know, the owner went to your school and all of these things. The familiarity level fucking skyrockets for me. Hickey, yeah, there you go. That's sort of what I'm like, something's a little different here. Hold on.
ここでお礼言うって言ってたよ。
なんでその時言わないんだよ名前とか聞いてないのか
忘れてた。
Okay, his sister's kind of... his sister, he has a cute sister. Can we agree? YouTube, can we agree? He has a cute sister, yeah? Not in any other way. It's Tanya's voice actress. Ah, okay. Bruh. Chat-san! Chat-san! Oh, he has the best sister. She didn't bring her bag, I know, right? This is fucking hilarious, though, and I love the way that this is being presented in that regard. I love the way that we're seeing, like, how much... Well, in both ways, right? She might be a bit of an airhead, but she cares about him. And we can genuinely see that him as an older brother cares about her. Though I do wonder, in her group of friends, how does she talk about him? Does she ever bring up that she has a sibling or not? If you were to, like, let's talk about this in just an environment, right? You have Hachi, and you have sister, right? So, like, middle school and high school. If we were to put Hachiman here and the sister here, what stories would Hachi present if he had friends, right, about his sister? Versus, what stories does she present about Hachi? I am so curious about this narrative. Like, how would it be if he ever went over here and was trying to go out and interact with her and her friends or whatnot? Would she be okay with that, or would it be a no-go because she already has an established like story about what her family is or what her family does? Or vice versa. If she were to come over here, how would he react in that environment where she is present in there, right? Clearly showcasing the fact that like we have, I guess, a family now. What would that do? What would that do in that environment? So fucking curious about like just the power dynamics and present that are presented there. That's a tough one. Anyway, sorry guys. Sometimes I ask these questions because it's stuff that you got to ask yourself, right? As a therapist, as a psychologist, as an individual in mental health, right? You consistently got to ask yourself like, how would this person be in this environment? What are the keys to their happiness? Does the sister care about the brother enough to bring him up in conversation or idolize him in some way, shape, or form? Maybe like her friends are like, oh my God, you talk about your brother a lot. Like, oh, geez, right? Or is it vice versa where she's like, doesn't even bring up the fact that she has a brother? And even with them, how many of like, I'm not going to say friends because he doesn't really have friends, but how many people actually know about like the fact that he has a sister or he has siblings in that regard? Anyway, sorry guys. I feel like I'm going too deep. It'll probably never explore this, and it's just using the sister as a way to say, hey, there's a sister in this. But if it ever did, that is a fucking amazing way of fucking going into this. If Hachiman is not careful, this can get extremely toxic extremely quickly. If Hachiman is not careful, this can be one of the like an environment that would just feel like it's fucking ripping him apart. Let's go ahead and put them together, right? Let's put Yui, Yukino. Who are we putting? Sorry if I spell this wrong. I don't even know if I got this right. What aspects do they present? Give me traits for both of them. One's sarcastic in nature. One's more bubbly. Yukino's intelligent. Yui is sociable, right? Cold or introverted, right? By the way, you don't have to be cold and introverted, but we're just going with that. Introvert. She's more warm and an extrovert. No friends. Fake friends. Passive versus more forward. And we can continue down the line. Now, you have these two lists of individuals in here. Is that mirroring something? This nature, one versus the other type of thing that we're seeing here, is very similar to the internal pull that we have from Hachiman, where on the one side, he doesn't want to connect with other people, right? Or externally, he's like, I don't want to connect with people. I don't want to, so on and so forth. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But at the same time, he can be warm. He might be blah, 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 but he wants to go and be sociable. He might be blah, 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 but he wants to... It's that internal battle that he's having. These two people are representing different sides of that internal battle. If these two people ever turn out to genuinely be interested in him and show emotions, he's going to have to go ahead and put a line. Otherwise, it's going to fucking tear him apart. He's going to have to be like, hey, Yui, Yukino, you guys got to, stop. Like a scenario like this, I have to make a point and make a decision for myself if it comes down to these two. Because right now they represent a dichotomy of his own emotions and thoughts. Just by breaking it down like this, you can go, he's a little bit passive, but he can be forward. He doesn't have any friends, but he has whatever, fake friends or whatever, right? But they get each other. They can get along. They can get along just fine because they're two individual people. But if it's a person that's being told to choose between one and the other, that's a tough battle. And that's where my mind goes into is, are we ever going to get a scenario where we have to see... Hold on, I'm not sure if you guys can see this. Hachiman draw his line. Are we ever going to get a scenario where Hachiman has to put down a boundary line because of this dichotomy? Who do you think will be better for Hachiman in relationship terms? I don't know just yet, Masters. I don't know just yet. I'm not going to lie to you. At the moment, at this point in time, I think maybe Yui. Yukino might be very supportive, might be great, but at this point in time, I think for growth, unless she challenges him intellectually or pushes him in some other forms, her warmness and ability to get him to slowly start coming out of his shell might go ahead and be that aspect of change. This, I'm afraid, that can go into a relapse is what I'm afraid of at this point in time. I'm afraid of, let's say that him and her were to get together and she starts giving pushback and just stops. I have a feeling that this might end up in a relapse. In this scenario, I feel like he might start to grow and make friends. Some of them might be fake friends, but he would start to grow in that environment. In this environment, I feel like it would take him a little bit longer to try and make friends outside of the relationship. Anybody can change. This is my thoughts at this point in time. I think Yui would probably be the best one in that regard. But I don't know. Unless Yukino comes out as a major challenger and is not passive, but very forward and hey, I like you, and I want this to work, and I want both of us to heal and get better and whatever, then my things might change. But as at this point in time, I think Yui might be the best option. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Let me know what you guys think. It's a tough battle, man. It's a tough battle. What can I say? Anyway.
労働とはリスクを払いリターンを得る行為である。よって俺の働かずに家庭に入るという選択肢は妥当であり、かつ全くもって正当なものである。したがって今回の職場見学においては専業主婦にとって職場である自宅を希望する。私が何を言いたいか。
There's nothing wrong with the stay-at-home husband. There's also, I'm glad this was written before 2020, because we could have been like, it's very common now. COVID, a lot of things took an effect, and now we have a lot of people that work from home. No issues there. No issues there. They're gonna refer to.
わかるな。書き直します。殴らないで。
当たり前だ。少しは変わったかと思えば、法支部で過ごす日々は君に影響を与えなかったのかね。
俺のモットーは初子貫徹なので。
撃滅のセカンドブリッドを食らいたくなかったら、それ以上
Annihilating second bullet. Wait, what?
抹殺のラストブリッドも勘弁してください。
引きがやは理解が早くて助かる。とにかく
I feel okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like the only thing I don't like about the teacher is the smoking habit, but that's just a me thing. That's just a me thing. Smoker's breath after going in for a kiss on a smoker's breath is a little. I can fix it. That's the only thing. I'm like, I don't mind drinks and whatnot, but smoking is why she is not married. There's no other explanation. Same, Lena. Yeah. Can't stand smoke. Right? For some people, it's can. For some people, it's can't. It's dependent on the life. For some people, good for you if you use it as a way to quit. For some people, it's their way of coping. Whatever it is, there's no judgment in that. But just personal preference of mine, I'm just like, yeah, smoking's not really my thing.
学希望調査票は再提出。それと伝え忘れていたが、今度の職場見学は3人1組で行くことになる。好きな者たちと組んでもらうからそのつもりでいたまえ。
クラスのやつが俺ん家に来るなんて絶対に嫌だ。
あくまでも自宅へ職場見学するつもりなのか、君は。
More color. Okay.
会わなかったの？
誰と？
あなたがいつまで経っても部室に来ないから探しに行っていたのよ。ゆいな浜さんが。
その統治法で自分は違うアピールはいらねえから。知ってるから。
わざわざ聞いて歩いたんだからね。そしたらみんな引きがや誰って言うし、超大変。
So then how do you know him? Oh, you fucking know him. How did you even come up with Hickey for a nickname for him in episode 1? This doesn't make sense unless there's some sort of motivational factor that made you go and seek him. Some that he was like a little fucking earworm in your brain, just in some way, shape, or form. How did you know him? How did this come about? But also fair. I don't think a lot of people know him.
悪かったよ。
別にいいんだけどさ。そんなだから。
Oh, bro.
携帯教えて。ほら、わざわざ探して回るのもおかしいし、恥ずかしいし、どんな関係か聞かれるとか。悪いし。
She communicates. She communicates. She communicates. She comes. She comes. She communicates, boys. She's not like a baka. She's straight up just communicating. Like, hey, it's kind of awkward going out and whatnot. Not like hiding out. What are you guys? What are you guys on, bro? She has comms. She can communicate. But guys, you guys are in a fucking degen mood. Holy shit. Guys, she comms, okay? It's okay. She communicates. Stop. Get some help, bro. But overall, what I'm trying to talk about is compared to like other characters, that would not communicate or that would try and go ahead and like beat around the bush or whatever. She's just very upfront about it. Hey, people are asking about like what sort of relationship are we in? I need your phone so that I don't have to go ahead and do this again. I love that. That's a fucking okay. +1. That's a +1 right there. Keep a tally for me. +1 to Yui for comms.
私が打つんだ。
He doesn't know how to operate it.
人に携帯渡せるのがすごいね。
It's because he probably doesn't know. Do you think that he has ever opened up his phones aside from like RedTube or Pornhub or whatever he's into to like put it in somebody's info? First contact outside of that's sort of what I'm getting at, YOLO. Nope. Hey, yo, Master. Master's laughing. Hey, yo, how do you know that? Now let's get real here. He's as pure as Red Turtle, which actually elaborates this question. And I do put a little bit of jokes in that for that environment. A lot of people have phones, but a lot of people don't know how to properly use them. A lot of people haven't put in a lot of context in their phones. How many of you actually have more than 30 people on your phone? Versus how many of you guys have it, but on Discord or other areas that is not their phone number? It's getting wild out there, guys, and it's coming back as a resurgence in that way. But what I'm getting at in this environment is if someone hasn't used it, you can tell by the social cues. He played it off smart and just giving it to her. That's kind of a power move, if I do say so myself. But also her just going through it and like not batting an eye, amazing.
それじゃあていうかヒキの場合メールする相手いないから指が退化してるんじゃない？
Okay, oof.
俺も中学校の時は女子とメールくらいしてたぞ。
嘘。
それ俺の。いや、ヒ
キが女子とっていうのが想像できなかった。
She's a fucking savage. You're no fucking way. You know what? Another +1. Fucking humor, bro. I'm gonna give that +1. Hold on. +1. The humor she has, amazing. I love the quick comebacks. That's awesome, bro. All right, that's +2 for her. You know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this an easier way. 1, 2. We're gonna keep tally.
お前、俺なんてな、クラス替えでみんながアドレス交換してる時に携帯取り出してキョロキョロしてたら。
ありがとう。
Oh no, people maybe felt obligated.
じゃあ交換しようか。
って声かけられる程度にはモテたと言っていいな。
じゃあか。
Oof.
優しさは時々残酷ね。
Oof.
その後はちゃんとメールしたし。
I'm pretty sure she never texted back.
健康的で奥ゆかしい感じだったな。なんせ夜7時にメールを送れば次の日の朝に帰ってきてごめん寝てたまた学校でねと帰ってくるくらい健康的だし。
それって。
寝たふりをして。
Okay. +1 for Yukino. That was a good one, man. That was a fucking good. Oh, hold on. I gotta go ahead and get this shit here. There we go. +1 for Yukino. That was a good one, mate.
無視していたのね。引きがやくん。真実から目を背けないで現実を知りなさい。
Good. I love the confrontation in this. I love the fact that she's like that as well, which is why I gave her the +1. Good in being able to, like, being comfortable and calling out your friends and being able to call out your partners, right?
現実とか超知ってるっつうの。知りすぎてそろそろヒキペディア作れるレベルだ。
Wikipedia.
どう見てもスパムメールの差出人にしか見え。
Hey, your FedEx delivery has, it will be arriving soon. It's a bunch of fucking spam. You are the Nigerian prince of, like, you lost $10 million. Oh.
どうかしたの？
なんでもないんだけど、ちょっと変なメールが来たから、うわって思っただけ。
引きがやくん、裁判沙汰になりたくなかったら、今後そういう卑猥なメールを送るのはやめなさい。
内容がセクハラ前提で、しかも犯人扱い。証拠を出せ証拠を。
その言葉が証拠と言ってもいいわね。
Ooh.
犯人のセリフなんて決まっているの。
Wait a second. Is this anime essentially just fucking cognitive behavioral therapy, the show of like romance and whatnot? CBT, which is essentially you show people the evidence, right, against their thought patterns, And then they have to go ahead and prove what it's for, what it's not in that regards. In this essence, you have two different individuals who stand for two different things that he's aiming for in that regard as well, right? Again, sarcastic individual called what bubbly, blah, 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 blah. And he's right in the middle, just like he is with his own emotions and thought patterns. And each one presents evidence towards the other. And now he has to go ahead and fight against not only them, right, in terms of trying to be friends with them, but also in terms of himself and trying to align with who he wants to be as an individual. That is interesting power dynamics. That is fucking really, really, really interesting. Ooh. I was thinking something close beta test. Well, guys, it was nice getting to know you. What was I just talking about? Literally going against the evidence here. Your own presented evidence of stigma. Sometimes I feel like a fucking show can like read my fucking mind there. Holy shit, dude.
大した推理だ。君は小説家にでもなった方がいいんじゃないか。殺人鬼と同じ部屋になんかいられるか。最後、むしろ被害者のセリフだろう。死亡フラグもいいところだ。そうだったかしら。いや、ヒッキーは犯人じゃないと思うよ。証拠は？なんちゅうかさ、内容がうちのクラスのことなんだよね。だからヒッキー無関係というか。同じクラスなんだけど。なるほど。では引きがやくんは犯人じゃないわね。証拠能力認めちゃったしよ。まあこういうの時々あるしさ、あんまり気にしないことにする。あ、ちょっとお願いがあってさ。法支部ってここでいいんだよね。またも本能的に負けを認めてしまった。平塚先生に悩み相談するならここだって言われてきたんだけど、いやー、なかなか部活から抜けさせてもらえなくて。能書きはいいわ。用があるからここに来たんでしょ。
Okay, there's a difference between communication, right? Oversharing and undersharing, undercutting. Even as a confrontation, right? Do you guys rate this? I might have to take this point away. Do you guys rate this as healthy communication? Or would you guys rate this as hard communication? Would you guys feel pressured to answer in a way that doesn't allow you to share your narrative? So if I was like, shit test communication, hard, she's ice. How would that feel like in an environment where, say, you got something really stressful going on? It's like, get to the point. We already know what's going on with you. Just get to the point. Stop bragging. And of course, I'm saying this rudely, not in the way that she would, but I'm just talking about general communication dynamics, right? This is my own personal score, by the way. How would you feel if you had a partner or a friend like that? Do you even feel like you would have a friend like that who would cut you off trying to jump into it? Yes, she's cold as ice, and only people that would be able to recognize or break past that barrier would be able to recognize the sweetness inside of her, right? The sweetness that she is, but that comes through that environment, right? Or I wouldn't say sweet, but like who she truly is.
Hayama Hayato-kun. ああ、それなんだけどさ。あ、変なメール。戸辺は稲毛のヤンキー、ゲーセンで西高狩り。ヤマトは三股、最低のクズ野郎。
Hey, yo!
大岡はラフプレイで相手コン。
Hold on. Hey, well...
戸辺は稲毛のヤンキー、ゲーセンで西高狩り。ヤマトは三股。
Hey, yo! This school's fucking wild. This feels like the beginning of a fucking doujin here. Wait a minute. This show's fucking wild already. Holy shit. It is a bit messed up.
なんかクラスの雰囲気が悪くてさ。それに友達のことを悪く書かれてれば腹も立つし。ああ、でも犯人探しがしたいんじゃないんだ。丸く収める方法を知りたい。頼めるかな？データ必殺技ザ・ゾーン。説明しよう。ザ・ゾーンとは真にリアルが充実したもののみが持ち得る固有スキルで、その最大の特徴は場を整えることにある。彼らは現実世界が充実しているため、見下されがちなものに対しても優しい。
Not necessarily. So this is actually called the halo effect, right? In positive regards. In an aspect through this, and I hate having to go, I know, the zone. There's many things that can explain an aspect like this. Number one, let's get into it. Polyvagal theory. In case you guys don't know, the polyvagal theory essentially centers down into our vagus nerve and how we react seeing other people around. If we see people around us that are in a higher like spirit, energy, whatnot, it allows us to go ahead and start feeling maybe a little bit better about throughout our day to interact with us if there's that aspect of it, right? This is, by the way, the polyvagal theory as to how our parasympathetic nervous system, our sympathetic nervous system in general reacts to dangers or perceived aspects of threat. That's a polyvagal theory, right? But we also have the halo effect. The halo effect essentially states that grandiose people of a higher standing, social status, whatnot, right? We elevate them to a parataxic distortion, or this pedestal in which everything they do is magnificent and great and glorious and whatnot inside of a situation. So if they're around you, well, then you must also be good. You must be nice. You must be in that thing. However, this probably doesn't affect Yukino. Someone is closed off, right, in an environment where they are a little cold, maybe don't really have a lot of friends or whatever. It's gonna be like, oh my God, this guy's really trying to go out and do this. Okay, cut the crap. We're here to help people, but not because of this whatever, right? As for like on other aspect, you might be like, you're such a kind-hearted guy. You're so whatever, right? And it's just a difference of personality status. It's just depending on your riz, how like, in general, how charismatic you are with other people and what that enables for them. Red versus blue, that's a lot of...
カリスマ性を有するいい人が持つ独特の空気感と呼べるだろう。
つまり事態の収拾を図ればいいの。
まあそういうことだね。
では犯人を探すしかないわね。
よろし。
Wait.
なんでそうなるの？
チェーンメール。あれは人の尊厳を踏みにじる最
It is. It's pretty bad.
自分の名前も顔も出さず、ただ傷つけるためだけに誹謗中傷の限りを尽くす。止めるならその大元を根絶やしにしない。
However, here's the thing. This is a group of friends who have surrounded themselves with people who think alike, right? And one of those individuals must have started this group of chain about the information privy. What will happen to this group of friends during this high school experience if that were to come to light? More than likely, it would break apart. More than likely, his whole mentality is to try and make memories and keep aspects of high school sweet, regardless of the individual doing it. I'm trying to go ahead and put myself in his shoes, and I'm like, I can kind of see that he's just trying to put a Band-Aid on it in that regard, if this is what they were trying to go ahead and do. On the other hand, without properly addressing the person that did it, how will it truly stop? Interesting.
実体験かよ。
根絶やしにしたんだ。
とにかくそんな人間は確実に滅ぼすべきだわ。それが私の流儀。私は犯人を探すわ。一言言うだけでパッタリやむと思う。その後どうするかはあなたの裁量に任せる。それで構わないかしら。
ああ、それでいいよ。
メールが送られ始めたのはいつからかしら。
先週末からだよな。
Last weekend.
クラスで何か
He probably does, Eldosu.
葉山くん。
特になかったと思うけどな。
うん、いつも通りだったね。
一応聞くけれど、あなたは
一応ってなんだ。先週末か。
Just to be safe.
今度の職場見学は3人1組で。
職場見学？
ああ、それだ。グループ分けのせいだよ。
Yukino's intelligence is kind of hot. That's going to be a point. Just saying, Yukino's intelligence is kind of amazing. That's a point right there, bro. That is a fucking hard point right there. Mods, I hope you're keeping track, because I ain't.
犯人分かっちゃったかも。
説明してもらえるかしら。
こういうイベントごとのグループ分けはその後の関係性に関わるからね。ナイーブになる人もいるんだよ。
職場見学は3人1組
だから
4人から1人だけハブになる。まあ外れないように誰か蹴落とすよな。
じゃあその3人の中に犯人がいると見てまず間違いないわね。
However, that's where the stereo automatically starts to go wrong. It's a group of 3. What happens if it's one person collecting info from another two people, tells someone else that info. That person already has info from his group or their group, and this circle just essentially keeps elevating itself up into a game of telephone, where it just gets so out of control that like really nobody knows who did it. My only fear is that Hachiman here might see this pattern. He's a smart kid. He might see this pattern evolving, and in order to keep what might for some people seem as precious, jump in and try and be a savior and try and fix things. I feel like for him, there's a lot at stake for Hachiman. Hachiman needs some good counseling, some good therapy, some good social skills, and some good ability to go out into the community and work, you know. Not like work, like, you know, work, but like social work, like actually being able to interact with others and in a healthy environment. However, my fear is that he might turn that into savior-like tendencies if he's not careful. Or like, I'll keep it safe. I won't say anything. It is what it is.
ちょっと待ってくれ。俺はあいつらの中に犯人がいるなんて思いたくない。
Right.
3人を悪く言うメールなんだぜ。あいつらは違うんじゃないのか？
バカかお前は。そんなの自分に疑いがかからないようにするために決まってるだろうが。もっとも俺ならあえて誰か一人だけ悪く言わないで、そいつに罪をかぶせるけどな。
エキスコブル最低だ。
とりあえずその3人のことを教えてもらえるかしら。
戸辺は見た目悪そうに見えるけど、一番ノリのいいムードメーカーだな。イベントごとにも積極的に動いてくれるいいやつだよ。
騒ぐだけしか脳がないお調子者ということね。
You love this? Think about it. Like the further this goes, especially in her, in psychology, we have an aspect, right? In any case management or whatnot that you go into, it's called strengths-based approach, right? Which means that you might come in and you might be like for example, you've had a really bad day or whatnot. Sure, you've had a bad day. I'm going to try and be like, okay, but you made it through the day. Like, you're resilient. You're amazing. Let's talk about, like, you know, other bad days that you've had and, like, how you made them through and how you have these incredible strengths, and focus on the positive so that you can start seeing that aspect of yourself, as opposed to a negative, you know, like not a strength-based approach, which is like, wow, you've had a shitty day. How does that compare to, like, other shitty days, right? Like, tell me about, like, the worst possible outcome of a day. That type of a thing. It's like, no, we don't want to head it in a negative way. We want to elevate you to be like, you know what? I can feel better. Or like, this was a rough day, but it's not like the worst day ever. You know, like I can take a next step. So going into easily excited only knows how to make a ruckus. That's sort of like gearing it down. You can know.
どうしたの？続けて。
ヤマトは冷静で人の話をよく聞いてくれる。ゆっくりマイペースで人を安心させるっていうのかな。いいやつだよ。
反応が鈍い上に優柔不断。
大岡は人懐っこくていつも誰かの味方をしてくれる気のいい性格だ。いいやつだ。
人の顔色を伺う風緑。
Bro.
どの人が犯人でもおかしくないわね。葉山くんの話だとあまり参考にならないわね。
Does she come from money? Or does she have loving parents? The reason why I ask this is, number one, it makes me curious to see if her parents have been around and what sort of care they put in her for her to like look at the world around her. Think about her schema, how she views the world, and that's telling us everything right there. The way that she views the world is really cold. It's really, really cold. It's a cold world to view in, and I wonder if she's ever felt like started to feel warmth in it. Or it's all facts, but there's more to it than just facts. Or there's more to it than just her perception of facts, right? There's emotions behind it. There are people in there that are going through ups and downs and everything in between. The reason why I ask if she comes from money as well is because oftentimes you also can cater or start to see what people can maybe value or the way that they analyze things. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on not just upbringing, culture, whatnot, but also economical factors, for some people, the higher you go, the less socially, emotionally intelligent you can be. Like for some people, it's a little bit harder for them to go ahead and truly comprehend the social dynamics of things.
あなたたちは彼らのことどう思う？
どう思うって言われても。
俺はそいつらのことよく知らんからな。
じゃあ調べてもらっていいかしら。ごめんなさい。あまり気持ちのいいものではなかったわね。
俺がやるよ。 別にクラスでどう思われようと気にならんし、人の荒探しは俺の108の特技の。
One of my 108 skills. Yeah, it could be Kaori. 100%.
それにユキノンのお願いなら聞かないわけにはいかないしね。
That's a big fat one right there. Who actually wants to spend time with you? Actually wants to spend. When she was doing it alone, she's like, no. But when she's like, oh, he's gonna do it, fuck it, I want to spend time with him. Fucking big fat point right there, brother. A big fat 3-1 right now, brother. Oh.
あいつらはな。
引谷くんもだよ。
こいつ何言ってんだ。引谷くんなんてやつはこの部活にいない。
Hikitani-kun.
とりあえずヒッキーは何もしなくていいからね。
そりゃ助かるけど、具体的にどうすんだよ。
女子から話聞いてみる。クラスの人間関係なら女子の方が詳しいし。
Social change hierarchy. The amount of people that we have, we're able to go ahead and let's say that this is Maslow down here, right? Stereotypical base needs, you know, safety, friends and family, whatever, self-actualization, and then we have like love and belonging, you know, that sort of a thing, right? So let's say that this is hierarchy of needs, but you also have an impact radius of your social friends and hierarchy and how that can apply. How far will Hiki evolve as an individual? Right now, we started off with Hiki at the base needs, at the very bottom of the pyramid, per se, in the social quadrant, right? As a social leader in that regard. We see him with no one, but now we're starting to see him take steps. Are we ever going to see Hiki as a very important figure in this school? Or important enough for people to start recognizing him based on the impact that he has with others and based on his ability to grow in that social hierarchy? There's been a lot of wonderful new theories coming up about, like, you know, social power and the powers of like social supports and growth in that. So it's making me wonder, for Hiki himself, how is he going to grow in this school, considering what, there's like 3 seasons or some shit? How is he going to grow in that environment? And is he going to go up? How far are we going to see him? Are we going to see him expand his friend base? Or are we going to see him expand his influence base in terms of other people knowing more about him and sort of like being okay and more comfortable with talking to him in that regard? Maybe he'll become the student council president and rule the world. Oh yeah.
共通の嫌なやつの話とかすると結構盛り上がっていろいろ話してくれるし。
ガールズトーク光栄。
とにかく私やるから気にしなくていいよ。
まあ俺が聞き取り調査しても逆に誰って聞かれるのがオチだしな。任せる。
She's adorable.
いやはや。てかさ、トベッチとか大岡くんとかヤマトくんとか最近微妙だよね。
話題の振りが直球すぎんだろ。
You have no sense of subtlety.
そういうこと言う子だったっけ？あんさ、そういうのってあんま良くなくない？友達のことそういうのってやっぱまずい。
Oh, what the fuck?
違くて、その気に。
Was it the girl with glasses?
ゆいってそういうこと。
Is it the girl with glasses that did it? Now I'm wondering. Now I'm also trying to go ahead and put it together. The way that she called this out was very, the way that she called this out is very out there. Like, I don't think you were that kind of person. Like, instant rebuttal from this. Interesting. For me, if I was in this, like, I'd be like, okay, now I have suspicions. I would expect her response to be like that, right? I'm running, bro. I'm fucking running. I'm fucking running 100 miles an hour here. Hold on.
そういうのってあんま良くなくない？友達のことそういうのってやっぱまずいっしょ。
ああ、いや、違くて、その気になるというか。
何？あいつらの誰か好きなん？
全然違う。気になる人はいるけど、それは。
好きな人できた？
Hey yo.
ほれほれ協力するから。だからそうじゃなくて。
Hey yo.
気になるのは3人の関係性？
わかる。ゆいも気になってたんだ。
実は私も
Now, there's one of two ways that this can go for this girl. Now, let's talk about this theory, right? The GBL and GY theory. It's either girl boy love or girl Yuri. One or the other in this one. Oh yeah, no, I read manga too. Yaoi, yes, you guys know what I'm talking about.
そうそうなんかギクシャクしてるっていうかさ私的に絶対飛べ中継だと思うの
I mean, yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
ヤマト君の強気攻め大岡君は誘い受けねあの三角関係絶対なんかあるよねでもね絶対に3人とも隼人君狙いなんだよ友達のためにみんな一歩引いてる感じ来ましたわエリナどっちが可愛いんだからちゃんと聞い返しろし
I found that a lot, Yui. You know what? For trying to gather information, I'm going to give Yui a point there. I'm going to give Yui a point there for trying to go ahead and grab fucking info like that. And actually getting us some good info. I ain't even going to lie. I'm not. Some of you guys might not agree with me on this point, but she actually went out and attempted it. That's a...
スタートからいろいろ間違ってたからな。次俺やるわ。
やるってみんなに聞いて回るの
いや、見る。
Observe. Yeah?
俺の108の特技の一つ、人間観察を披露しよう。元来人間のコミュニケーションは言語の3割程度。残りの7割は目の動きやちょっとした仕草から情報を集めている。
100% correct. Well, I wouldn't say 70%, but a great majority of our communication skills actually come from nonverbals, right? So, for example, as I mentioned, I had a kid who, in group therapy, would come in and he was like, man, I'm suck, you know, like I hate when like my case manager, my therapist, my, you know, people at school are trying to talk to me. I just don't get them. They don't understand me for who I truly am, right? And my guy, amazing fucking rapper. He's over here fucking rapping and like he's going fucking hard. And like he's telling me his life story, right? While rapping. I join him on the other side, right? This is group therapy. I am silly with these kids. And like those that have been here for a while can attest to this. I'd bring in paintings. We do painting competitions, do a whole bunch of things. And I'd be like, you know, so for example, he'd be telling me that like he's having trouble with girls and he's having trouble like truly understanding like aspects of himself. And I'm like, okay, so when a lady lets her hips flow like a hypno, you get drowsy. All the motherfuckers just really think you're lousy, right? When you're with the girl, you're like, you just can't let go till it blows up in your face. Electrode, right? I'm mimicking his like literally, it's not original. Literally like mimicking his like gestures and shit, right? And the more that I mimic his gestures, he's like, he's all fucking getting into it, right? And then he's like, you get me? You get, because it's that communication, right? And so we're talking while using the same gestures and it's getting through to him more because of that sense of like rapport. That's a sense of being like similar, right? So oftentimes we do this even subconsciously, which is within 90 seconds. I hate to put it this way. Within 90 seconds, you decide whether or not you will truly like someone or you're okay with someone, which is interesting. It's interesting how your brain quickly can go ahead and categorize people into separate piles until you truly interact with them and you're able to go ahead and bring them from one pile over to the other. So this is what I'm saying. Observing people, one of the most critical aspects out there that I think is lost because we now have the attention span of 1 second or 3 seconds, I believe. It's getting smaller and smaller every time, which is why, you know, for a good while there, it was going into shorter and shorter and shorter form content. And then they're trying to go ahead and bring it back to longer and longer form content to be able to go ahead and keep our brains active and alive and not literally dying.
つまり逆説的に考えて会話しないぼっちでも7割方コミュニケーションができているということである。違うか、違うな。
Oh.
おはよ
う。毎朝俺の味噌汁作ってくれ。
Best girl.
どういう意味？
いや、なんでも。
What if, how sure are we? How sure are we that he's a boy? How sure are we that he's a boy? Hold on. 99%. Fuck! One way to, you know what? One way to,
お前寝ぼけてただけだ。なんか言おうか。
職場見学のグループもう決めた？
お前は？
僕はもう決めてるよ。
What Ryu even 100% fortunately. Ah.
そうだわな。戸塚はテニス部員だし、そこから派生するつながりでクラスに友達がいてもおかしくない。かたや俺の場合は。よく考えたら、というかよく考えなくても、俺って男子の友達いないんだな。
Oh, what about him?
僕、男の子だけど。
果たして俺たちは友達と呼べるのだろうか。
Oof.
友達というのは例えば。
隼人君、どこに決めたん？
俺はマスコミ関係か外資系企業を見てみたいかな。
やっべえ、隼人マジ将来見据えてるわ。でも俺らもそういう年だし、最近親とかガチリスペクトだわ。
これからは真面目系だよな。
わ、でも少年の心。
Even as superficial as this might seem, this is how we communicate. What does friendship mean to you? And are you okay with superficiality? Are you okay with superficiality in friendship? I'll be honest, sometimes that's all we need. I'd be more like, sometimes I'm more comfortable in just keeping a friendship level at a superficial level because I don't want to go in deep all the time. I think if you're deep all the time, like that friendship can be a lot. That friendship can be like, yes, I know we connect on this deeper level, but like we don't always have to go that deep, right? Is it healthy? So sometimes you have to be able to go to manage from superficiality down to the in-depthness of it.
忘れたらやばいでしょ。
あんな会話をさも青春しているかのように話し合えるのが友達かもしれない。俺なら途中で吹き出して絶対無理だが、彼らは互いをファーストネームで呼び合う。
Sure.
それが友達としての証だと言わんばかりに。
100%.
サイカ。悪い。今の。
嬉しいな。
Oh.
初めて名前で呼んでくれたね。
Why?
僕もヒッキーって呼んでいい？
Bro, I can't.
じゃあ8万。
もう3回呼んで。
8万。8万。8万。もう聞いて
I
るの？
came. Brother.
何の話だっけ？んだよ。
いや、なんか分かったのかなって思ってさ。
That's the point for brother. I'll give 3 points for Saika there. Every time they said Hachiman, I'll give him that point. That's a 3-pointer right there, brother. Only 3? When he's not around, they're all cold with one another. Yeah.
どうかしたか？
Is he the glue of the group?
謎はすべて解けた。
で、何か分かったのかしら？
犯人については分からん。だが、一つ分かったことがある。あのグループは葉山のグループってことだ。
はあ？今さら何言ってんの？
No, which means in an insane environment or in an environment like that, that means that they have to be around your circle of friends or circle of influence. Even past that, that also means that if we remove you from the environment and keep them in a closed off whatever, they have to go out and have some sort of interaction. He is the group. Yeah.
どういう意味？
言い方が悪かった。つまり葉山のためのものって意味だ。
Yep.
別にそんなことないと思うけど。
葉山、お前はお前がいない時の3人を見たことがあるか？
いや、ないけど。
あいつら3人きりの時は全然仲良くない。わかりやすく言えば、あいつらにとって葉山は友達で、それ以外のやつは友達の友達なんだよ。
They're friends of a friend.
ああ、それすごいわかる。会話回してる中心の人がいなくなると気まずいよね。どうしていいかわかんなくて携帯いじっちゃう。
仮にあなたの言うことが本当だったとして、3人の犯行動機の補強にしか。
You know what? Hachiman deserves 8 fucking points for that observation, man. Because observation does not come easily, and it comes from a point of trying to go ahead and understand others around you. I'm giving Hachiman 8 points for that because it takes a lot of years of truly trying to go ahead and understand how people react with one another and understand social dynamics on that one. How many points? 8. Yeah, 8. Hachiman gets 8 points.
犯人を突き止めない事態は収束しないと思うけど。
葉山、お前が望むなら解決することはできるぞ。犯人を探す必要もなく、これ以上揉めることもなく、あいつらが仲良くなれるかもしれない方法が。知りたいか？
Let's see. Almost like I said, if you put them in a group together, they'll start communicating because they have to at that point. So you have to start overcoming some hurdles. Not necessarily, it's only a band-aid. It's only a band-aid.
葉山をぼっちの道へ引きずり下ろしてやろうと思っただけだ。そもそも彼らが揉めそうになる原因は葉山と一緒にいたいからだ。ならばその原因を取り除けばいい。つまり葉山隼人を除外すればいい。
俺があいつら3人と組まないって言ったら驚いてたけどな。まあこれをきっかけにあいつらが本当の友達になれればいいって。
Damn. Damn.
ここまでいいやつだとこれはこれで何かの病気だ。
引谷君、まだグループ決まってないよね。一緒にどう？
何こいつ？アメリカ人？
What is this guy? American?
オーケー。おかげで英語で返しちまったよ。
Bruh, overthinking it.
トツコ、どうした？
八幡、僕は？
え？
Oh, bro.
いや、お前決めてるって。
だから最初から八幡と一緒に行くって決めてたの。
That's another point for her, for him. That's another point. I'm gonna be straight up. I just came through, communicated. Hey, what about me? I thought we were in a group. Communication. What Yui has in boy form.
よし。
よろしくね。
漢字だと間違えないんだな。
八幡。日にちどうしようか。
もしかしてこれが友達というやつだろうか。
あーし、隼人と同じとこにするわ。隼人君そこ行くの？私もそこにしようかな。
隼人パライ超パライ。
Bro.
行く行く。
あ、俺も行く。
ま、いつでもどこでも消えてるようなもんだけど。
Bro, I would be pissed. What's this? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Underrated waifu. Here comes a contender. Wait, another best girl? Oh, the shadow waifu? But what an interesting episode of quite literally like power dynamics and social dynamics inside of that. This is why I'm genuinely enjoying this series, right? Because it has a lot to offer and a lot to touch on, especially when it comes to social hierarchies or social dynamics in groups, in friendship groups, in high school, college, university, you name it. Amazing. Amazing. Overall, fantastic fucking episode, guys. I give this one, I think an 8.5, or actually I give it a Psycha out of 10. I give this episode a Psycha out of 10, ladies and gentlemen, because Psycha did amazing in terms of actually being able to go ahead and get more points than anybody else. But the next episode, I'm so fucking hyped for, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really, really hyped for just to see where this show's gonna evolve. A lot of people say season 1 is like the boring season, and that season 2, season 3 is where everything picks up. So I'm curious to see where this is gonna go. So fucking hyped, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. I feel like I'm really fitting in with Oregairu. It's such a nice and natural series to react to. And I hope you guys are getting the content that you guys like as well. You guys are learning a couple of things as well. But yeah. I love how both Yui and Yukino singing the end of the duet, right? hello. All right.
それでね、大志くんのお姉さんが最近不良化したっていうか。バカじゃないの。
黒のレース。
つまり、引谷くんと同じクラスになってから変わったということね。
Wait.
お待たせしました。ご主人様。
ご主人様。
どちら様でしたでしょうか。にゃー。
Who are these voices? What is going on? What is the next episode? Wait a minute.
意味わかんねえから次回またしても彼は
And again, he runs from whence he came.
元来た道へ引き返す
Guys, I'm so fucking thrilled. I don't even know what else to say. I'm really fucking thrilled about this series in general. I hope you guys are getting that feel as well. Guys, if you guys like it, please hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe. It means the world to me, especially for these shows to go out to the people that genuinely like them and genuinely like long form content analysis / reviews of them or reactions towards them. YouTube ain't the friendliest towards the channel in general, so it's always wonderful to see new faces coming through and genuinely liking some of the in-depth analysis. I know that there's people out there that do 4 episodes and they react to them in like 10 minutes or 20 minutes. But I'm just not that type of person, and I don't think I would ever go back to being that way. The only way I was that at first was from ReZero, but that's just because I had a shitty laptop and I had to edit and edit and edit and edit and edit over and over again, as you guys can tell. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, my number one thing is long form content, being able to talk about the characters and genuinely go on deep and, you know, analyze it as far as we can, because that's what these series are for, man. They're for taking something away. They're for the aspects of, like, just picking something up and learning and maybe even, like, applying it to our daily life and maybe finding out why we like certain characters more than others, right? But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you coming through YouTube. I hope you guys practice that self-care. Hope to see you in the next one, man. Every Friday, brother.